The next emotion and the last emotion in the list, which we're going to talk about, is going to be defensive. Well, this is one of a kind of emotion that is being observed in personal as well as in professional life, in a lot of conversations, in a lot of discussions. It comes into the picture. A person under attack immediately assumes a defensive posture. They feel that they are being made as a target, or they are being made as a victim of some kind of situation, or they feel offensive about something. And that is the reason this kind of body language gets developed automatically and people react in a certain manner. Well, typical body language gestures that are associated with a defensive posture could be as we can say it like tightly folded arms. We tend to do this a lot of times while listening to somebody or while attending a meeting. Let's but consider this fact. This kind of posture shows defensive body language. So let's not try to follow it as much as possible, at least in a professional setup, so that we do not give wrong indications. Crossed legs. Well, you're not open for new ideas, you're not open for new situations. This is what it indicates with this kind of body posture, the folded arms, the crossed legs. That is why it is always said that this kind of posture should be avoided. Sitting on a reverse chair. Well, having a body posture that clearly indicates as if you are not the part of that particular discussion or meeting is certainly a no no, and it shouldn't be followed in a professional life, because it's a clear indicator that the person is not interested in the meeting or being part of the team. Wandering eyes. Well, when you don't have any kind of contribution in the discussion, when you don't want to be part of that particular meeting just because you feel that you're being offended, then this kind of behavior develops when you keep looking around here and there, but at the speaker, or you're not involved in the communication at all. Showing nervousness while giving excuses. This shows that you're being defensive, that you're trying to prove yourself, you're trying to prove some wrong point of yours. A defensive posture is usually assumed by people when they are being attacked verbally by the aggressor through sharp public or private criticism. This is a natural reaction of people who have been attacked, sometimes by aggressive people, and they try to defend themselves in a manner so that they're giving a justification for their part and trying to explain their point of view why a particular thing was done. It basically shows that you're trying to cover up for your mistakes. Sometimes people become defensive to avoid embarrassment, to avoid insults, and basically to prove their point in a positive manner. Can be acceptable, perhaps, in a situation where a person has a genuine reason, but if somebody is at fault and has made a mistake and trying to defend himself is certainly not acceptable. In such scenario, people should be courageous enough to accept their mistake and should not be defensive for something which is inappropriate. So all these kind of emotions that we discussed just now can be expressed with a non-verbal communication. All these emotions are indicators to convey a particular message or a particular thought or attitude or feelings only with the use of our body language. Well, watching out for all these kind of emotions in a certain manner has become quite imperative so that we have a smooth communication within our organization and also in our professional lives. So let's just be little more aware and little more attentive to read the right body language so that we understand people, we read their minds, and we try to avoid the misinterpretations, the miscommunication which generally takes place because of not listening to people properly and not reading the nonverbal signals properly. The different emotions like aggressiveness or submissiveness or attentive, nervousness, upset attitude, bored emotion or relaxed power or being defensive, all these kind of emotions can be watched out with the all kind of body language that we discussed just now. If one can confidently read this kind of body language, then a lot of problems can be solved. People will develop healthy relationships through smooth communication. People will not have to talk a lot or waste their times in justifying themselves, explaining themselves. Perhaps just paying acute attention to all these kind of nonverbal signals may be very much fruitful and will lead to success for the organization as well as its people. Well, the next topic is going to be, or the next part of our session is going to be, as mentioned earlier, handshakes.